Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing the R34 or the 34R in CarX Street. We're doing the drift and grip tunes today. They're great. Love them. We actually have an all-wheel drive version of the R34 for the grip, and it's a blast. Did a lot of tuning on that one. Spent a lot of time messing around with that, and they turned out great. Hope you guys enjoy them. But here's a little bit of a demonstration of the drift car here, and slides just as good as any other car I've done on the channel. Pretty smooth, real loose, controllable. All right. Now getting into the tune for the 34R, we 2JZ swapped the rear wheel drive version of this. The 2JZ provides a pretty smooth power curve. It's actually one of the better engines for drifting, it seems, now that I've been using it, testing it this past week. Getting into what parts I used the racing ECU, standard turbo kit. We used the street camshafts. We used the Elite intake manifold. We use Ultimate cylinder head, Ultimate engine block, Elite exhaust manifold, and the racing exhaust. Now for the tuning, we didn't mess with rev limiter, turbine pressure, peak RPM. I mean, none of that was necessary for this one. But the torque at medium and torque at low, we maxed those both out at 400 for medium torque and 306 for low torque. Now for the drivetrain, we did ultimate everything, leaving the stock drivetrain rear wheel drive. As usual, we dropped the gear shifting speed down as low as it will go. Same with drivetrain loss. Fully locking the acceleration and deceleration of the differential and slightly increasing the preload to 130. Now for the body, we didn't swap anything. All we did was the ultimate weight reduction so we could have adjustments for tuning. We did the ultimate gas tank, lower the center of gravity a bit more. No aerodynamics. And for the tuning, we dropped the weight down to 1500, pushed the weight distribution to the front 50, or actually more towards the rear because the front of this car was pretty heavy, but feels pretty nice. And we lowered the center of mass height as low as it would go. Now for suspension, we did all ultimate upgrades. And for the tuning, we increased spring length in the front to 139. We adjusted spring stiffness up to 164. We left the front anti-roll bars stock. We increased the camber to -8. And we put the steering angle to max 65. We didn't mess with the dampers on this one, on the front of this one. For the brake force, we put it all the way up to 12.3. Front brake balance at 85. We didn't mess with the rear springs, anti-roll bars at all. The camber we actually did a little bit less at -3.5. And we didn't change the rear dampers either. This car is pretty balanced right off rip once I had finished upgrading it, and feels pretty good. Now for the tires, we did ultimate front and rear spacers. We did, for the front rims, we did 265/30 R18s. For the rear, we did 205/45 R18s. And for both front and rear tires, we did the Elite stretch at the standard size. Now for the tuning, we left 2-bar in the front to allow for the car to grip up a little better. Have the front wheels always grip up. There won't be understeering, anything of the sort. Having it a little bit lower than the rear. The rear is at 3. The front wheel offset is at 13. And the rear wheel offset is at 9. I felt like there was a little too much rotation on the rear, leaving it stock. So we ended up bumping it out just a little bit more. And that'll about do it for the Drift 34R. All right, for getting into the grip tuning, the 34R, we used the stock engine. We ended up putting the ultimate ECU on it. We did default turbo. We did racing camshafts, racing intake manifold, racing fuel system, ultimate cylinder head. We did the elite engine block. We did sport exhaust manifold and the ultimate exhaust itself. Now for the upgrades, we left the RPM stock. We did torque at high at 306, torque at medium at 331, and torque at low at 274. Now for the drivetrain, we did swap the T50 into it, and just the regular swap for the T50, we ended up putting that in there. Ultimate clutch, ultimate differential, ultimate transmission, and then we drivetrain swapped it to all-wheel drive. Now, getting into the tuning, we dropped the gear shifting speed down to 0.19. We ended up doing front lock at 0.2 and front deceleration at 0, complete 0 with no preload. Final drive for the transmission tuning, we ended up putting at 3.59. We ended up stretching out third gear to 1.5, stretching out fourth gear to 1.11, and fifth gear to 0.85. I know I don't typically adjust transmission, but I mean this car is wicked. Like, the transmission could not handle the amount of power that I was pushing out of it, so I had to do a little bit of tweaks to it. Now for drivetrain loss, we have it at 11. You will get a lot more drivetrain loss on all-wheel drive cars. Just comes with the territory, more grip, more power loss. Lock acceleration for the rear, we did 0.7. For lock deceleration in the rear, we did 0.2 with stock preload at 65. Now for the body, we didn't body swap it again. We did car weight reduction ultimate. We put the ultimate gas tank, and we did ultimate front and rear aero as well. We didn't end up adjusting the weight down at all, but we did move the weight more towards the rear, just as we did with the drift car. The center of mass we dropped as low as we could. Downforce in the front we threw all the way up to 35. Air resistance we dropped that as low as we could at 2.05, and the downforce in the rear we left stock. Didn't need any more. It was gripping up just fine. With these all-wheel drive cars, you'll find that most of the time you're battling understeer. So we're trying to put as much grip over the front wheels as possible without overloading them. Now for suspension, normal, all of them are going to be upgraded to ultimate. For the tuning, we did spring length at 139. Spring stiffness is at 114. Anti-roll bar is at 18. Camber is at -8 for the front. The Ackerman we ended up adjusting up to 70 just to give it a little bit more grip and speed throughout the corners. Leaving the steering angle at 50. I mean, you don't really need much more than 50. 50 will do the job just fine. Throwing it up any higher, you're going to end up possibly steering too much, or your steering is going to be too touchy. It's going to steer too much with little bits of input. Just not worth it on the grip cars. Now for the front dampers, we have the slow bump at 7,200, fast bump at 3,600, slow rebound at 14,800, and fast rebound at 9,100. Braking force is at 12.3. We left brake balance at the stock 55. Now for spring length in the rear, we did 152. For the anti-roll bar stiffness, we bumped that all the way up to 53. For the camber, we went a little bit less at -3.5. Give it as much grip as we can, straight line grip. Rear dampers, we left all stock. And that is about it for the suspension. Now for the wheels, we did ultimate front and rear spacers. We did 265/30 R18s for the front and 285/30 R18s for the rear, doing a racing +5 stretch, or racing +5 on the front for the tires and a racing +10 for the rear. Now for the tuning, we left standard 2-bar in both front and rear. You could add a little bit more tire pressure to the rear if you wanted a little bit more rotation to the vehicle mid-corner. That's personal preference. I found it better to just have a little bit more grip all the way around. For the front wheel offset, we did a 24-inch offset or 24 offset, and for the rear we did a 19 offset. And that'll about do it for the 34R tunes. If you guys enjoy the video, want to see more videos like it in the future, more cars, different builds, even other racing games, like and subscribe. I plan to do content on all the new racing games that are coming out. Anything from Forza to the next CarX to Tokyo Extreme Racer. All right, catch you on the next one. Peace.